So we all know that Spider-Man is known for having his villains like the Sinister Six, Venom, Carnage. Although Venom is an anti-hero, but in some iterations he's a villain. But when you think about it, he's still a villain. But anyways, he's known for having these villains and even Null. But I'm not sure if Spider-Man really fought him in the comics along with Venom. Which I might want to check that out before I assume he did. But I would have to say that Spider-Man is known for having a lot of his villains. Even the Spot. But you want to know who is way worse than all of them combined. Like, maybe not way worse than the Spot, but way worse than the Sinister Six. And I am basically talking about a vampire who kills spider totems named Morlun. Now, some of you may know who Morlun is, but if some of you don't, then let me explain. So, Morlun is part of the family called the Inheritors, who are, I think vampires, because he is. But, they basically hunt down spider totems and people with spider powers. And if you guys think that Spider-Man's first ever death was in Into the Spider-Verse, then boy, you are wrong. Because what I'm about to tell you right now states the fact of why Morlun is way more terrifying than the Sinister Six. So, today I'm going to explain why Morlun is way more terrifying than the Sinister Six. So, we start off with, of course, Peter swinging around the city. But then, out of nowhere, well, I don't think out of nowhere, Morlun actually watches him behind behind the building. And then when Spider-Man lands on a rooftop, he actually meets Morlun. And before I continue on, you can see that I'm using Roblox because, well, I just thought that maybe if I can't screen record like videos because it's copyrighted, then I can definitely do this. Then I can basically do a commentary explaining things while I'm basically playing Roblox. So, anyways, let's continue. So, Morlun actually fights Spider-Man, of course. And they go into different buildings, including the Daily Bugle. And J. Jonah Jameson is not really having it. But then, this is really what it gets darker. Spider-Man is basically trying not to was about to give up, but then he saw his family that he loves, basically Uncle Ben, Aunt May, MJ, which I don't even know why Spider-Man cares about this lady, but he said no. And he basically... Sorry guys, hold on. So Spider-Man tries to kill Morlun, but by beating him, and then once he hits him even more, Morlun basically doesn't move, and Spider-Man is basically tired. Even he said it. But let's just say that Spider-Man did thought he tried to kill Morlun, but no. Morlun actually wakes up. And this is how Spider-Man actually died to Morlun. And before I say anything, if you're wondering why, well, since Morlun is part of the inheritors that kills spider people, he basically cannot get a single scratch. Like, no matter how much he gets cut or punched or kicked, he doesn't feel anything. And the worst of all, he doesn't even bleed at all. But, anyways, do you want to know what this man does to Spider-Man? So, and what I'm about to say is gonna be really brutal and disturbing, so if you don't want to hear it, you can skip to this timestamp, because what I'm about to say is gonna be very disturbing. So, basically, Morlun puts his hand on Peter's eye and then rips it out and then eats it. Not just that, he basically starts giving him the Omni-Man beating until he basically dies. Anyways, I'm done talking, so you can come back now. But honestly, that has to be very disturbing, which is why I told the viewer that is watching this that if they don't want to hear it, then they can just skip into that timestamp. But later on, Spider-Man isn't really dead, but he basically is brutally beaten. Like, I mean, look at his face when someone took off his mask. Like, god dang, Peter. Morley gave you a lot of beating, my guy. Anyways, later, MJ visits Peter in the hospital. Oh yeah, and before I say anything, I want to mention that Spider-Man did wish there were Avengers right now, or something else. But honestly, that has to be one of the darkest moments in comics history. But, so, yeah, MJ does visit him. But then, basically, Morlun appears again because, well, I think he thought that he killed Spider-Man. And so, when Morlun tries to get Spider-Man, MJ basically defends him. Although it is really nice of her, don't forget, she's still a worse Spider-Man love interest, even in the comics. But, anyways, let's just continue. But then something shocking happens next. And honestly, this is where Spider-Man really dies. So, when Morlun tries to kill MJ, you already know that Peter is about to be angry. So then, when Peter actually wakes up, but in a different way, he basically wakes up and starts killing Morlun until he basically dies, of course. And then, and that was where Spider-Man sadly passes away. And a few of the Avengers showed up, but they were too late. And then when Iron Man saw his body, he basically flew it with him. Now, honestly, this has to be the darkest moment in Spider-Man history, guys. And honestly, not a lot of people are basically talking about this man. Like, I mean, he is way worse than the Sinister Six. But I'm pretty sure he isn't way worse than the Spot or more or Null. And now, if before you guys say that, isn't it supposed to be Morbius? Well, like, it means Morbius is a vampire. Like, he is unlike Morlun, if you think about it. And yeah, that is what I got to say in this video. I know for a fact that this is gonna be taken down for community guidelines, even not monetized. So but I hope it doesn't really get taken down. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Peace.